You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Defending liberty 1 hour at a time and broadcasting live from the RWB Network studios in New York City, this is the Ryno Report. Always right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are going to make America great again.
My fellow Americans, let's roll.
And now, here's your host, the Ryno.
Hello, I am the Ryno, and this is my report today, Monday, May 15th, 2017, and we are coming to you from the RWB Network Studios here in New York and broadcasted by CRN Digital Talk Radio. So I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand watching network programming. Somewhere along the line, we traded in great shows like NYPD Blue, All in the Family, Northern Exposure for overpaid nerds, screeching late-night banshees, and a family that's anything but modern or traditional for that matter. Our TV has become nothing more than a tube full of boobs, and not even the good kind. But there was one show that gave you hope. It was about an educated, snarky, successful man that worked his way to the top. His name, Mike Baxter. Even if he was Mike Vila's haphazard arch-nemesis in a past life, his new gig was anything but. However, there was one little problem. Mike Baxter was a conservative, and there's no room in the TV guide for something like that. ABC has canceled their second highest rated comedy, Last Man Standing. It seems there's no place in network programming for a show that embodies the American dream, unless, of course, that dream is to pillage from the government and cry foul when you don't get your own way. But something tells me that Tim Allen isn't finished. Hey, Al Borland could always use a hand selling garden hoses. All right, we have a big show today. Number one, forget all that talk about the Saturday Night Massacre. Those on the left who are pushing this narrative are nothing more than a bunch of illiterate fools who probably failed U.S. history. But what about the Monday Night Massacre? Ever heard of it? Well, President Trump may be gearing up to start swinging the axe as we speak. Also, are you thinking about moving to Germany? Unless you're a Muslim refugee who chooses to flee instead of fight, probably not. But what authorities in Hamburg, Germany are doing is eerily reminiscent to something Barack Obama tried to implement here in the U.S. very quietly before last year's general election. If you are a homeowner, you'll want to stay tuned. And with all signs pointing towards a rapidly growing economy in the near future, which retailers are starting to see big dips in their sales? I'll give you a hint. James Madison deemed it to be, well, second most important. We have all that, plus the inclusive left is outraged and triggered by the new Miss USA. We have GOP senators are ready to slice and dice on Medicaid, and perhaps President Trump should add the Congo to his travel ban. I'll tell you why a little bit later in today's show. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Ryno, R-Y-N-O on air. That's at Ryno on air. Also, check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/The Ryno Report. Got a lot of likes this weekend. And you can always email me. Questions, concerns, comments, whatever you got. An article I missed, a story you want me to talk about. Ryno, R-Y-N-O, at RWBnetwork.com. Hope you had a great weekend. We are off and running on this Monday. Do not go anywhere. Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty HealthShare. If your healthcare has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty HealthShare could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty HealthShare. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your healthcare. Liberty HealthShare offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty HealthShare offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty HealthShare today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today. Alright guys, welcome back to this Monday edition of the Ryno Report. Big shout outs to everyone listening right now, live on Red Nation Rising Radio, also on streamingtalkradio.com. The replay at night, KLRNradio.com, the streaming player on WesternFreePress.com, and of course live Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Set your clocks, CRNTalk.com, and that's CRN Channel 1 for the live show. So there was quite an uproar this weekend, about this Last Man Standing. I like that show. I don't watch any network TV. I think it's all garbage. I just don't like it. I don't like it. It's not fun to watch. It's always pushing some kind of narrative. Even that show Blue Bloods, I watched that for a little bit, and then they started equating Irish immigrants to the Muslim refugees. It got too much. I turned that stuff off because I don't need that stuff fed down my throat. But this Last Man Standing, this was a good show. It was a funny show, and he had a couple of liberal daughters. It wasn't like this big conservative platform. It just happened to be Mike Baxter, played by Tim Allen, was a conservative businessman. And he started this company with his friend, that outdoor man, and they took some shots at Obama and take some shots at Democrats and liberals, which is, people find that offensive. It can go the other way, and there's no problem with that. But if it goes towards the left, they get super triggered. They don't like this stuff. And you have to remember, ABC, so they produced this show in conjunction with Fox, 21st Century Fox. Now, it is possible Fox could take this show and they could buy the rights to it and put it on Fox. It's very possible. But ABC is a Disney company, and Disney has made a series of bad decisions over the course of the last 18 months. There has been no doubt about that. When you look at ESPN, also a Disney company, when they totally got on board the Kaepernick bandwagon, right? That was all Colin Kaepernick, and he thinks police don't know how to do their job, and being a policeman is easy, and everyone's disenfranchised, and it turned off a lot of their viewers. They didn't look at the Sports Matrix. The Sports Matrix says that baseball, hockey, and football fans lean right, basketball fans, soccer fans, track and field fans lean left. Also worth noting, NASCAR fans lean right. I don't need to tell you that. But they ignored all the data that was given to them. There was a book. I should have done better show prep today. But there was a book that I read, I want to say it was about 15 years ago. And it was written by an author for National Geographic. I forget the name of the book. I think it's called Are You a Survivor or Survivor, something like that. And the book is very interesting. I should go back and read it again, or at least remember what the title was. But what that book had in it was it had a series of different events. And one event in particular was there was a Navy pilot, and he was coming in to land on an aircraft carrier. And all of his instrumentation said he was coming in at the proper angles and the proper speeds. And the tower on the aircraft carrier, I'm sure there's a real word for it, I'm not sure what it is, but the tower told him, you're doing good, keep coming in, same angle, same speed. And something in his brain told him that he was going to come in too steep. So he pulled up, he wound up skidding off the deck, and he died. Given all the information, he still made the wrong decision. Something in his brain told him that information was wrong. Okay, and there's also a story in this book about a Navy SEAL. And this Navy SEAL was going down the Colorado River. They were rafting with his family. He falls out of the raft, and it was during a low point in the waters. I guess it was later on in the year when it wasn't so raging. And he was offered a couple of oars to get back into the boat, and the Navy SEAL said, no, this is fine, I've done way worse than this, wound up hitting his head on a rock and dying. So his experience taught him that he could do a lot more and still survive, yet here is a very, very mild Class 1, Class 2 rapids, and it killed a Navy SEAL. And this book is very interesting because it just shows you the different ways our brains think. And it goes into the reptilian brain and the developed mammalian brain. And it's rather boring at times, I'm not going to lie to you, but it is a really good book, and it's a good insight into how we absorb information, and then we use that information sometimes for good, sometimes not for good. And ABC and Disney have absorbed all this information. They have absorbed tons of information. They watched the elections. They've seen ratings go down. They have a show here with The Last Man Standing gets an 8.1, which is really good. 8 million viewers each episode. That's like MSNBC times 12. Just FYI. That's about what that winds up being. And they're still going to cancel it, yet they renew Modern Family for 2 more years, which does do okay, and it gets like an 8.7, which is still that's really good too, actually. But an 8.1, there aren't a lot of shows that get an 8.1. And perhaps more interestingly about this is the ABC Entertainment president, Channing Dungey. He said back in September that broadcast TV was not paying enough attention to Donald Trump voters. Well, anybody who's a Donald Trump voter and, perhaps more involved in politics than your average person, they like the Last Man Standing show. It's a good show. They feel like it's something they can relate to, and then ABC goes and gets rid of it. Sort of in the same fashion that ABC puts The View under their news department. And I know that doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but ABC, Disney, ESPN, they're broken up into like 35 different divisions. And when you get into a certain division, there's more money allocated for your show, more resources allocated for your show, better producers, better assistant producers, the coffee tastes better, whatever it is. And when they put The View into news, it gives the impression that The View is news. And when you have a show that does well, like Last Man Standing, and it appeals to a certain audience, and now you're telling that audience that you really don't care about what they like, even after you said 7 months ago that network TV is not doing enough to cater to the Donald Trump voter, which is a large majority of this country by Republic. If you break it up, Donald Trump won 2,600 counties. 2,600 counties. Hillary Clinton won 400. So if you break it up into a republic-style system like we are, a constitutional republic, the country is overwhelmingly conservative. And they take that show and they kick it off the air. And, I don't even believe that Tim Allen is a staunch conservative. I believe he's a conservative. I believe he has more right-leaning tendencies. Maybe he's a friend of Abe, right? That's what they call him out in Hollywood, a friend of Abe. People who are secretly conservatives, but they don't say it because they don't want to lose jobs. And, I think the show will live on somewhere. Syndication, perhaps, I'm sure. But maybe 21st Century Fox picks this up and puts it in its lineup. I don't know. This is just, it's going the way of we need to feed you the narrative. We need to put it in every little thing you watch, whether it be entertainment, whether it be news, whether it be reality show. We have to feed you that line. And it was never more evident than at that Colbert taping last Tuesday, when Colbert had announced that President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey, and he was looking for big boos from the audience. Boo, Donald Trump sucks. That's what he was looking for, but instead they cheered because they hadn't been fed the narrative yet. They know these people are lemmings. They know they're sheeple. They know they'll do whatever they're told to do. Well, guess what? Now your conservative voter, your Donald Trump voter, your Republican, and perhaps even your moderate are taking note, and ABC will again lose stock value over this. They didn't learn. They didn't take the information they were given, and they are crashing this company into the ground. You know what? You know what I say? Go ahead. Crash into the ground. I don't care. All right, when we come back, we have a lot more to get to. We will talk about healthcare, and we'll talk about the possible Monday Night Massacre. Did you hear about this? Not yet.
Hey, Lorraine, do you realize that your mother, my mother-in-law, Chef Maria, has been serving Las Vegas since 1949?
Yes, I do, Dennis. That's when she first met Howard Hughes, who fell in love with her cooking.
And in 1955, she opened her first restaurant on Fremont Street.
Yes, dear. And another great customer was Liberace.
Wow. Then in 1962, while Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack were causing global excitement on the Las Vegas Strip, your family opened their second restaurant.
And in 1972, Elvis Presley began electrifying Las Vegas audiences and eating in our restaurants.
You know, Lorraine, this is quite a town. There's only one Las Vegas.
And there's only one Bootlegger Italian Bistro.
Folks, when you're in Las Vegas, come visit us. We'll make you feel like you're part of our family.
The Bootlegger Italian Bistro, conveniently located at 7700 Las Vegas Boulevard, South Strip. Visit our website at www.bootleggerlasvegas.com.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. With a call to National Tax Helpline, you can stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens now. Once you've qualified and enrolled, the IRS will stop all the collection activities against you. These unique programs have been allocated to help the economy and significantly reduce or eliminate your tax burden. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, call now for free information and to see if you qualify. Take down the number now for the Tax Helpline, 800-565-7933. That's 800-565-7933 for free information. 800-565-7933. That's 800-565-7933.
These are the sounds of Columbo's Italian Steakhouse.
Look at this ribeye. You see that ribeye?
Fantastic. Incredible.
You got to try a piece of this pizza. This is delicious.
Sausage and lentil soup. Special today. Very, very good.
Look at this garlic bread. Best garlic bread I ever had.
And here's Vic Perino, owner and operator of Columbo's, with the details.
A lot of the Italian recipes are my uncle's own recipes. We have a lot of people coming back for his hand-rolled lasagna. We make it basically from scratch. I think ours is exceptional.
Here's Vic on what makes Columbo's different than other Italian restaurants.
The other thing that sets us apart from other Italian restaurants is that we're an Italian steakhouse. We specialize in our steaks.
Plus, there's more.
We have entertainment 7 nights a week. So they're coming for a lot of reasons. The value. Their value per dollar that they're getting, plus coming into a neighborhood-friendly place. Sometimes we're actually accused of being the melting pot of Eagle Rock.
Columbo's in Eagle Rock, on Colorado, just east of Eagle Rock Boulevard. Call 323-254-9138.
All right, guys, welcome back to this Monday edition of the show. Check out all the older episodes, iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio, or, of course, RynoReport.com. We have some new videos up there, too, as well. Got to check them out. So I made a mistake. I made a boo-boo in the last segment. I said that ABC Entertainment President Channing Dungey made that statement in September. He made it in December. So just a month or so after President Trump was elected, and he was speaking during a conference in London, and part of what he said was this. He said, with our dramas, we have a lot of shows that feature very well-to-do, well-educated people who are driving very nice cars and living in extremely nice places. But in recent history, we haven't paid enough attention to some of the true realities of what life is like for everyday Americans in our dramas. And he's saying this while he's talking about network programming having to consider the Trump voter a little bit more. And to that I say, well, what? So we're all uneducated? We're all destitute? We're all driving crappy cars? Is that what you think about us? Like, they can't even... This is a very, very backhanded statement. Very backhanded. In fact, as somebody who's an entrepreneur, I can tell you it's always better to watch people, to emulate people, to hang out with people who are more successful than you. It's why you tell your kids not to hang around, like perhaps the delinquents in their school, right? Because you don't want them to become like them. So I can tell you from a very entrepreneurial standpoint that, no, you want to see this stuff. You want to watch House Hunters, right? That show on HGTV, and they're looking at $1 million homes because it drives you to want to inspire you to own something like that, to work towards that goal. I don't like when that show has like, oh, our budget is $250. You know what? That's fine. For some people, that's their budget. But for people like me, I don't want that to be my budget. I just don't. Hey, you can call me whatever you want. Call me a yuppie, a Long Islander. I don't care. But I'm going to work hard so that I have a much higher budget than that. And I want to see these homes. Like, have you ever watched those the great log cabin homes and all that stuff that they have on the weekends? These are like $3 or $4 million homes. And you watch that and you go, yeah, I want that. That's what I want to get out of my life. And so watching people who are very good looking, who drive nice cars, who have great jobs and nice homes, I don't think that's a bad thing. And what he's saying is we need to dumb down what we're showing our Trump voter. And then they go and they cancel Last Man Standing. So Hey, listen, that's ABC, that's Disney for you. They're kind of in a death spiral right now, and they're not quite sure what to do. So we'll let that be. Right? When they're drowning, you got to stick a hose in their throat. That's what you got to do. This was interesting. I didn't watch this. This Miss USA. I don't watch that stuff. Not really my thing. But this Kara McAuliffe, she's from D.C., and she won this Miss USA thing, and then she was asked about health care. I guess a lot of you probably watched this. I didn't watch this. I saw the YouTube clips, though, and I shot the YouTube from my phone to my TV. That's pretty cool. I still think that's really cool. I had no idea you could do that until like 3 months ago. But you got to put a little piece of tape over the camera on the smart TV, right? If your smart TV has a camera, put a little piece of tape over it because they're hacking into these things. Anyway, so this Kara McAuliffe, she's asked about whether health care should be a right or is it a privilege, and she said it's a privilege. And the left went bananas. Absolutely bananas. Here is a successful, educated, very, very pretty African-American woman from the D.C. area who wins the Miss USA. This is everything the liberals should love, and then she says health care is a privilege. And that was all they needed to hear. No more inclusion. She's out of the circle of trust, and they're going nuts over this. She says, as a government employee, I'm granted health care, and I see firsthand that for one to have health care, you need to have jobs. Wow, what a novel idea. What a novel idea. If we have jobs, we can afford health care. I'm not saying we should be able to afford $3,000 and $4,000 a month premiums. We shouldn't have to make the choice between buying health care and sending our kids to college. But yes, we should have affordable health care, and people who have jobs should be able to afford health care. She's not wrong here. Healthcare is not necessarily a right. It is a privilege. It's something you earn through hard work. And it's something you earn by maybe going to school and getting a good job that supplies you with healthcare, a pension, dental benefits, eye benefits, flex time, whatever it is you think you desire, that's what you strive to earn. And the left is going bonkers. Absolutely bonkers over this. But hey, listen, this is not to be unexpected. The left reacts to this whenever somebody deviates from what they're told. You have to do what you're told, or you're outside the circle of trust. I'll tell you who's going to be working their way outside the circle of trust. Could be Sean Spicer, could be Steve Bannon, could be Reince Priebus, could be all three. All three of them could be looking for Obamacare come tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about that when we come back.
This is the Mungle on Movies. I'm Matt Mungle. Alien Covenant is in theaters May 19th. Michael Fassbender reprises his Prometheus role and reminds us why aliens are scary.
Space and what's out there, the idea of parasites, things that would use us as a host. I always remember from the first Alien film, John Hurt and the neomorph bursting out of his stomach. It's that idea of something growing inside of us.
Thanks. Now I have that to worry about. For reviews, interviews, and more, go to mungleshow.com or follow me on Twitter @TheMungle.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was the location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal, marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
Hey
there. Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you could make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? It's true. According to the 2012 U.S. Census Bureau, college grads with a bachelor's degree make almost twice as much as high school grads. Now, going back to school is easier than ever at Independence University. Log on and complete coursework from the park or the beach or even your couch watching the kids. And Independence University gives you the tools, a free tablet and laptop for undergrad students to use and keep when they graduate. That's right. Get a laptop so you can go to college from anywhere. Take the first step to a new career in business, information technology, healthcare, or graphic arts. Call to find the online degree program that's right for you, and you could be on your way to increasing your earning potential.
800-989-1361. 800-989-1361. That's 800-989-1361.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
You know, they say in life we should savor and slow down and enjoy things. That's what our hosts Steve Andrews and Sally James do on Slow Living Radio. They do everything slowly, and they do it for you Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m., Tuesdays at 11 p.m., and Monday nights at 7 p.m. It's Slow Living Radio, the best in food, the best in entertainment, the best in drinks, including great wine. All with Sally James and Steve Andrews. Slow Living Radio on CRN.
All right, so we're talking about healthcare, right? We're talking about healthcare because Miss USA thinks it's a privilege and not a right. She's 100% correct. Despite what the loony left is flipping out about, they'll always find something to be mad about. If you don't fit into that nice little box, if you don't do what they said, they're going to be mad at you. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like. You know, it doesn't matter. But talking about healthcare, it does bring up what's going on now with this healthcare fight, where you have the 13 or 14 U.S. senators are trying to hammer out this American Health Care Act. They're just going to deconstruct this thing and put it right back together again. And what the big fight is going to be, it's going to be over Medicaid. That's really where the big fight is going to be. And you had the big Medicaid expansions under Obamacare. And there are waivers in the American Health Care Act that your state can opt out of these expansions, and that has given the left freedom to say 24 million Americans are going to lose their health care. No one really knows where that number came from. It just came out of the DNC, Talking Points headquarters somewhere. But this is the fight over Medicaid is sort of a microcosm fight for entitlements. That's what this really comes down to. And I think there are a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump who know that we spend too much money on entitlements. I mean, literally about half of our budget is entitlements. About $3 trillion goes towards paying people, housing people, feeding people, giving them free phones, taking care of their health care. And that's a lot of money. When you have half of your budget going towards a small percentage of the population, it does rile some people up. They don't like knowing that they're working very, very hard while some people are not, and some are not able to. I get that. Some people are not able to go to work. And there are things in place like disability, Social Security, disability insurance to help those people. But there are people who are willing to, or who are not willing to work, who are able-bodied. And I think that's where people start to get a little miffed. And you're going to see this fight over Medicaid, and it does have broader reaching implications. And people are going to extrapolate a lot out of how much of the Medicaid does wind up getting cut out of this new health care bill that will come out of the Senate, spearheaded by Ted Cruz, which, I mean, what could go wrong there? Now, I stand with the biggest and the best economists in the country that say all we have to do is take out the bottom 5% worst offenders in this country, allocate $15 billion to pay for their medical expenses, and that brings down premiums by 50%. 50%. Then, let's go a step further. Let's give people choice. Don't liberals love choice, or only when it comes to killing a baby? Well, here, let's give them choice. All right? You don't have to have mental health if you don't want it. You don't have to have drug rehab if you don't want it. You don't have to have prenatals if you don't want it. You get to just pick a major medical. Get rid of the essential health benefits, get rid of the carve-outs, get rid of the corrupt insurance commissioners, and let people make a choice. Major medical would cost you about $50 a month. 50. If you can't spend $50 a month on health care, then you don't get health care. Because there are some people paying $3,000-$4,000 a month for health care. That's how you bring it down. The landmine has always been that once you insert the government into healthcare, it's going to be very, very hard to get them out, especially with the expansion of Medicaid. This is what they've been doing for years, the left. They give away free this, free that, just to get the vote, right? That has always been the plan. But they're starting to see that there's going to be pushback. There'll be pushback from the right, pushback from Ted Cruz, pushback from perhaps 20 senators who will be up for re-election in 2020, who live in states, represent states that did get expansion. And they're going to have to fight for their political lives. But there is a large majority of people who feel like, listen, things need to be curtailed. The spending is out of control. To spend $700 billion on Medicaid and $200 billion on our veterans is a crime. That's a crime. So it's going to have to be addressed. I still like the idea of the bottom 5% coming out, spend the $15 billion, pay for all that, get them out of the exchange, and get rid of these essential health benefits. Just make it so you can get whatever you want. You can buy your plan a la carte. Whatever you can afford, you get. What a novel idea. What a novel idea. You can't afford a gallon of milk, you buy a half gallon of milk. So, we'll see how this goes. It always comes down to he who robs Peter to pay Paul will always have the support of Paul. And perhaps that didn't happen a little bit in November. But at some point you have to curtail the spending. It is way, way too much. Way too much. So, a lot of people didn't know James Comey was going to be fired. And you know why? Because Trump didn't tell anybody. And that perhaps was the smartest thing he's done to this point. Because the leaks out of the White House are they're gaping. It's a sieve, that place. And he just didn't tell anybody. He gave them an hour's notice. I mean, James Comey didn't find out until it appeared on the TV behind him while he was talking. And everybody thought it was a joke. But perhaps that's how this president needs to run this. And I know people are flipping out about he's getting a little heavy-handed and he's threatening to get rid of the press briefings every day. Listen, you don't need those. All those have turned into are just these gotcha question sessions. So there's a lot of talk right now of who he can and who he can't trust in the White House. Reince Priebus, Steve Bannon, yeah, there'll be pushback there. If you get rid of Bannon, a lot of people are going to push back on that. Sean Spicer, is he next to go? I don't know. I guess we'll find out, though. Because people are saying that perhaps as soon as tonight, some heads could be rolling at the White House. Some people in the inner circle And there's a lot of talk that perhaps the president is leaning on Kushner and Ivanka a lot, and that again will not make the Bannon people happy. Kushner and Ivanka do have some more globalist-type leanings. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about this. Plus, who was interviewed over the weekend for FBI director, and what sector, what retailers are losing money now that President Trump occupies the White House? I'll give you a hint. You never would have thought this was coming. Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty HealthShare. If your healthcare has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty HealthShare could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty HealthShare. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your healthcare. Liberty HealthShare offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty HealthShare offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty HealthShare today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's to see the memorabilia of movie stars and theatrical magic right in downtown Fullerton, California. See the art of the masters, an Italian town square complete with storefronts of old Italian butchers and cheesemongers, fruit and wine vendors, seamstresses showing their wares, fairy lights from cathedral ceilings, and our ancestors smiling down at you from the family love altar. The romance of Romeo and Juliet, and find the mystical Room of the Moon. And don't forget King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein, and who knows what awaits you in the wine cellar. Enjoy the great food. We hand stuff our pastas, roll each and every tortellini, bake our own bread, make our own sauces fresh from our private stock of Sicilian family recipes. From pasta to seafood, chicken to award-winning pizzas, tiramisu flown in from Rome. If you can't find something on our menu to tempt you, you don't like Italian food. Try our Sunday brunch, just $18.95, and Angelo's and Vinci's has been named 2 years in a row Best Italian Restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurant at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. All
right, guys, welcome back to the show. Check out all the older episodes, iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio, or, of course, on RynoReport.com. So President Trump didn't tell anybody he was going to fire Comey. The left is outraged. They all want him gone in October. Now he's their best friend in May. It's all about obstruction. That's what this whole thing is about. The American people see it. And, you know, I got to be honest with you. I think this Comey stuff is much bigger inside the Beltway, inside of the political circles. If you're listening to a show like this, you're somebody who takes an active interest in politics. The average person doesn't care. The average person doesn't care. They go, you know what? Who knows? The guy was playing politics the entire time, and he's gone now. What's the big deal? That's what the average person thinks. But he couldn't tell anybody. He couldn't tell anybody because of the leaks in the White House. And he gave them a 1-hour notice, and it still broke before Comey had a chance to even know he was fired. With 1 hour notice. So the leaks in the White House are pretty prevalent. In fact, Matt Drudge tweeted this. He said, "We never got one damaging leak out of Obama White House staff in 8 years. Under Trump, they appear hourly. Big danger, small leaks sink ships." And he's right. He's right. And so there's talk of perhaps Spicer, perhaps Bannon, perhaps Priebus could all be on the chopping block. This is the inner circle. It begs the question, who replaces them? I understand that. But, hey, listen, if it's your closest confidant, if you cannot trust your closest confidants, then perhaps, it is time. And Axios, they're reporting that this could happen as soon as tonight. There was that. Remember when Sean Spicer checked everybody's phones? He took everybody's phones, all the people that worked there, and he started looking through phones to make sure they weren't leaking to the media. That was like on day 3. Right? That didn't take long to happen. But you know what? I got to tell you, I don't hate the idea of the White House putting out a bullet point memo every day of what's going on, and perhaps frequently asked questions section on it that has some questions there where the media submits questions. And then maybe once every 2 weeks, the president comes out and does his own press conference. You have to understand, he's the CEO of America Inc. That's what this is right now. It's America Inc. And he is the CEO. And sometimes the CEO has to stand up in front of the board of directors and give them the bad news or give them the good news. There's good news every once in a while. Not often, but every once in a while the CEO has good news. And maybe that's what has to happen. Maybe he has to relay the message. You see, because what's the point of sending Sean Spicer up there in front of a room full of people that 95% of them are registered Democrats and their networks supported Hillary Clinton, their networks did not vet Barack Obama? Why would you pander to them? Why would you give them the shot at the gotcha question? Well, the president said Wednesday, and you're saying Tuesday now? Is there no communication in the White House? What's going on here? The country's falling apart. It's Nixonian. That's what they do. It's every little thing they parse because everybody wants to be the next Watergate guy, right? Everybody wants to be the next person to break the big story. The story here, let me give you the story. The story is the president has created 500,000 jobs already. The story is the economy is improving. The story is China is now playing ball when it comes to dealing with North Korea. The story is our veterans are going to get taken care of. The story is people like Kim Jong-un are not long for this earth anymore. That's the story. There is no other story. The president was well within his rights to fire James Comey. And you know what? Hillary Clinton would have fired him too. And that's where you catch people like that total lunatic dope, Maxine Waters. She gets caught talking about this. She got MSNBC. When you have gone so far astray that MSNBC says, you know what, they throw their hands up and say, we can't deal with you, you have done something very wrong in your life. They asked her, so it's not okay for the president to fire Comey, but it's okay if Hillary were president for her to fire Comey. That would have been okay. And Maxine Waters with a straight face says, yeah, that's right. And people elect her. People think that she's a good representative. I'm not even confident she can read. But they elect her, and she says these dopey things. The story is this country is better off now than it was 3 months ago. This country will be far better off 4 years from now than it would have been if Hillary Clinton had won. It's better off than if Barack Obama could have gotten a third term, which you know he wanted in the worst way. The absolute worst way. He just couldn't start a World War III in time to get himself to, hold over. The country's better off. America Inc. is a rising stock. And the left will try to do everything they can to subvert that stock. They're trying to act like the Bobby Axelrod, where they get inside and they tamper and hope that it tanks, just so that they can benefit. So if it means the president has to come out as the CEO of this country and make that statement and make his press briefings, so long, Sean Spicer. I don't love the guy to begin with. He's okay. I'm not against him, as long as the press gets the information. And they can't mince words. They'll figure out a way somehow. But this is the way to reel them in. They are not going to play ball. Even if you put up Merrick Garland. You hear this one, right? For FBI director, they are still not going to play ball. They are trying a hostile takeover of America Inc. And CEO Trump is not having it. All right, when we come back, we have a lot more to get to today, guys. Hang in there.
You know, Fred Dry and I have been talking about BlueApron.com, where they send you fresh food right to your house with the recipes and everything. And you've been using this, Fred Dryer, and you made dinner for me the other night.
Yes, I did. I had my Blue Apron on, and I noticed you didn't bring your Blue Apron with you, but we put a beach towel around you, and you did quite nicely getting that food shoved in there.
Salmon piccata was delicious, and you got all the fresh ingredients. They give you the recipe with it. It's less than $10 a person. There's so many new recipes. It's flexible. You can customize the recipes. Very easy to do. We were watching TV while you put the meal together.
You can't beat it. There's a knock on the door. They deliver it. You put it in the oven. You cook it and put it in your favorite type pie tins. And you're sitting there in front of the TV. The next thing you know, you're falling asleep.
Blue Apron has a freshness guarantee for you. Here's the best part. You get your first 3 meals free with free shipping. You go to BlueApron.com, put in the keyword dryer. That's BlueApron, BlueApron.com/dryer, DRYER.
Hi, friends. This is Larry Manetti. Go to LarryManetti.com to get my book, Aloha Magnum. You'll read all about the wonderful guest stars like Carol Burnett, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and many, many more. There is an episode guide and my favorite recipes that I really cook at home. I will include a free signed photo with every book. Get Aloha Magnum at LarryManetti.com. Order now. Aloha.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. With a call to National Tax Helpline, you can stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens now. Once you've qualified and enrolled, the IRS will stop all the collection activities against you. These unique programs have been allocated to help the economy and significantly reduce or eliminate your tax burden. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, call now for free information and to see if you qualify. Take down the number now for the Tax Helpline, 800-565-7933. That's 800-565-7933 for free information. 800-565-7933. That's 800-565-7933.
This is Larry Elder inviting you to join me twice daily here on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Tune in to CRN3 Reagan Radio Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern for my live 3-hour show. And don't miss the replay of the show on CRN1 starting at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. The Larry Elder Show, twice as good, 2 times daily, Monday through Friday on CRN. Find out more at crntalk.com.
All right, guys, welcome back. I just realized this is the last segment. We spent too much time talking about other stuff. I like to move through stuff a little bit quicker on Mondays. And in fact, we had promo that I was going to talk about this stuff going on in Germany. And this is ridiculous. They're taking away private homes from people. If they're unoccupied for a couple years, they're taking away their homes, and they're refurbishing businesses and homes at the expense of the homeowner, and then placing refugees in these homes, and the government gets to collect rent off of that. And you know what? We're going to talk about this tomorrow, because this is very, very similar to what the former president, Barack Obama, was trying to get HUD to do in the last couple of months of his presidency. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Because I think that has a very broad-ranging implications. Also, this is interesting that people are talking about Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland, of course, the Supreme Court nominee that really wasn't, about putting him in as FBI director, former U.S. attorney. You know what? No. Here's the answer, no. Because that's an olive branch, and if you extend the olive branch, they're just going to take it and want more branches. So they're never going to say thank you. They're not going to help you out. This would be to force the Democrats' hand, to force them to vote something bipartisan, force them to go against what they've been saying on TV. It's still a bad idea. I wouldn't do it, not in a million years. Because if you get a Garland, or even this guy Andrew McCabe, the one who's all tied up with Terry McAuliffe, his wife and Terry McAuliffe there. If you have one of these two guys, all of a sudden, all the investigations on Hillary and pay to play and the emails, they go away. Benghazi goes away. IRS targeting goes away. Fast and Furious goes away. And no, these are things that need to be investigated. They need to be investigated by the number one investigative body in the world, and that's the FBI. And when you put Merrick Garland or McCabe in that area, they all go away. They all go away. They have loyalties to people who are suspects. They have loyalties to suspects, and that eliminates them from that position. Also, we'll talk a little bit more tomorrow about the travel ban. The Ninth Circuit is now hearing arguments. We want the Fourth Circuit and the Ninth Circuit to disagree, to not agree with each other. That way it gets fast-tracked to the Supreme Court, and this travel ban will be upheld by the Supreme Court because the president has unlimited authority to control immigration. That is clear as day, black and white. It doesn't matter what anybody says about statements beforehand, statements. It doesn't matter. Those statements, everyone knows that candidates lie and they say what they got to say to get elected. It's been proven in court many times. Those statements have no bearing on what is done once they're elected. So we need that to get to the Supreme Court ASAP so we can start making our country safer again. And perhaps we should add the Congo to that travel ban. Did you guys hear about this? This is getting a little dicey over there. Ebola. The Ebola is back. And it's back with a vengeance. 11 suspected cases, 3 reported deaths. Now, the people who died, one guy got into an Uber or something and told the guy, take me to the hospital. So the person who was caring for him and the driver of the taxi all got the Ebola, and they all got killed. And the interesting and scary thing about this is that this is the Zaire strain. The Zaire strain is one of the most deadly strains of Ebola. Back in 2007, it had a 74% fatality rate. 74%. So the WHO is all over this. We'll see what they can do to help stem this, help the people over there from getting sick. But until then, we got to add the Congo to that travel ban. I'm telling you right now. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend. We'll do it again tomorrow. Big thank you to all those serving our country at home and abroad. A huge thank you to those in the law enforcement community. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for all the hard work. Please keep it up. And above all, stay safe. God bless all of you. God bless all of your families. Have a great rest of your day. Check out all those episodes of Ryno Report. Join me on it tomorrow. I'm the Ryno.